Hi, Chloe.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I loved Downton Abbey, the grand finale. It's such a beautiful film. So, congratulations, first off.
Thank you.
Yes, and I would love to start at the end of the movie actually, because the final scene had me literally weeping. I had to take my glasses off because I couldn't see the screen anymore. And it's such an important full circle moment for Mary to be standing in Downton, kind of looking around, reliving the past. What was your headspace like while filming that scene?
I think it was probably the biggest challenge of the film, that scene. I didn't really know, other than the Mary and Matthew moment when they're dancing, I didn't really know what the other footage was going to look like because they were still deciding on what pieces that they would use. I think they were going to be trawling through footage to find those images of Violet and Sybil. Um, but for me in that scene, it was really emotional filming it, and Simon Curtis, whose idea it was for that whole sequence, um, just talked me through each moment and who I was seeing, and then I was looking at Violet, and then seeing everybody dancing, um, and they played the music over the speakers so that I could hear the music of what would be playing in that scene. And honestly, it took everything not to cry. um, it's not really, Mary's not really the sort of character to kind of, burst into tears. So that was the biggest challenge, really, was kind of holding it together and remaining, stoic and seeing more of the joy in her face of seeing everybody again.
hmm I love that you mentioned kind of the Mary and Matthew dancing moment because the whole series, anytime Mary and Matthew danced is like my favorite scene of the whole
Oh.
show. And I'd love to know if you have a really memorable scene from filming the series that you feel like will stick with you the rest of your career.
Um, well, the scenes that stand out for me, I guess from a career perspective, were the ones with Maggie.
Mm,
And I think those scenes between Violet and Mary were really special, between grandmother and granddaughter. Um, and she was she was such a champion for Mary, really, and Mary in turn adored her grandmother and always wanted to kind of please her in some way. And being able to play those scenes with Maggie Smith was just such a privilege.
mhm.
Um, and you really up your game when you work with someone like her. She's just the greatest. Um, so those scenes will really stay with me. And then it's the bigger scene, it's the big scenes when we were all together. The scenes where somebody got married, or like the scenes where we were out at the front of the house and it's all of the servants lined up and all of the family. It's like rare, those moments were quite rare that we were all together. um
Mhm.
Really cool time.
Yes. This far into all of your experiences working together, what was your favorite way to hang out on set while filming the grand finale?
On many ways. I mean, we had, when we were at Highclere, we were all in the same hotel those years in the series, and there was lots of meals that we had together and a lot of fun. We also used to play a lot of games behind the scenes. So we there was this game called Banana Grams, um, that we used to play, and Maggie was very good at it. So sometimes if I'd walk out and Maggie would be playing it, you'd be like, oh gosh, I've really got to really got to up my game even on my bananas. So those moments all together, I really loved offset.
Yes. And I'm also curious, what have you taken away from Mary as a woman and as a person? I love when Robert and Cora are talking about their formidable daughters in this movie and just seeing all of y'all's strength. I'm curious, it's so much of your life. Like, what have you learned
Yeah.
from her, from playing
Yeah.
her?
I mean, there's something about the confidence of those women who were, who grew up in that type of house and environment, that they can just sort of walk into a room and have this air of confidence and self-assurance. That's something that I've really enjoyed playing. Um, and they're real, between, the two sisters, how they've evolved as characters and how they've become the women that they are in this last film, um, was wonderful to play and to see play out. Um, so I'll definitely take a little bit of that with me.
Yes. And the other side of that question is I just love how Mary and Anna and Edith know each other so well, know the nuances of each other so well. And I'm curious what your favorite thing about working with Laura and Joanne this far in is.
I mean, we're all great friends. So now it's just, for the last 10, really the last 10 years, it's just been like going to work with your best mates. Um, we also, we all share a very similar sense of humor. So it can be, sometimes when we film together, it can be a bit tricky because we can get really giggly. And there've been a few moments on set where we've just had uncontrollable laughter and have probably slightly annoyed the crew at times. It's like funny for the first few takes, and then they're like, "Come on, we need to shoot this." Um, so it's just been a joy working with both Laura and Joe, and both such brilliant actresses to work with and to play off. And our dynamics have been so great to play. Um, yeah, we've had a lot of fun.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. Every season premiere, my mom would make scones and tea, and we would eat on their wedding china to like celebrate.
So
So this was
nice. I
always
love that.
special.
I love that. I get it. I totally get it. I've started watching The Gilded Age, and I can't watch an episode without a cup of tea and
Yeah.
something to go with it. Something about it makes you just want to drink tea and eat scones.
Absolutely. Well, have such a great rest of your day. Thank you again.
You too. Thanks, Chloe.